To another episode of Hero TV, you guys, where this is the show where we tackle everything that has to do with superhero news, which is on movies, TV, anything. And guess what? We have a jam-packed show for you guys today. This is the very first time on my show, Hero TV, that I've actually brought my Ask Alex co-host to this show. So if you don't know them, I'm going to introduce them. Jeremy, how are you doing today?
I'm excited to be doing something a little bit different on the channel. It's the same crew, a little bit different format, and I'm excited to discuss our topics today. So thanks for having me, man.
Anytime, man. And Ian, how are you doing today?
Oh man, thank you for having me back on, brother. This is the Dream Team. This is the Avengers, the Justice League. I'm excited to talk about Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 60. That's what we're here for, right?
Absolutely. We're definitely going to drive into some Dragon Ball. But if you guys don't know, before we jump into the topic, please, if this is your first time ever watching any of my videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Then hit that bell right next to it. That way you get all the notifications of every time I'm releasing a video here on my YouTube channel. Now, guys, I'm sure you guys already know by the title of this video that me and my co-hosts are going to tackle that it's now been announced that the Zack Snyder cut, if you will, it will be released on HBO Max. It's being reported by Deadline and Variety and other major news media sites that Warner Brothers is planning to spend anywhere from $20 to $30 million or more to refinish Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League movie. If you remember the very first trailer of the Justice League movie, that was somewhat of Zack Snyder's vision, a little darker tone. I just rewatched it before we got online, and to me, it didn't seem really that different. But before I give my opinion on this, it is shocking for me to see that a fan outcry for a Snyder cut that we've never seen or never really got any, I guess, confirmation of is coming out on a streaming service. So I find that kind of odd and weird. But to give my opinion about this is the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my whole entire life. This is the dumbest shit that I've ever... Do you guys realize that the Snyder cut and Joss Whedon's cut are not that much different? They're not that different. Even if you look back and when they brought Joss Whedon in to finish the movie, yes, he rewritten some of the aspects of the script, but it wasn't that different from the original screenplay. Yes, there were going to be elements of we're going to see Darkseid. So what? There were other elements where we're going to see different versions of the Justice League where they're wearing different suits. So what? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, for me, granted, I would have loved to see Darkseid maybe standing off against the Avengers saying, hey, I'm coming. But guess what? That's not going to even be a reality in this DCEU because we got a new Batman and we probably got a new Spider-Man, a new Superman. Like this, don't get me wrong. I think that we should all see what Zack Snyder's vision is. But if his vision isn't drastically different from the original screenplay, I don't understand the hype. The reason why I never talked about this topic, and by the way, I've got a lot of questions about this for Ask Alex and Hero TV. I've never addressed it because as a filmmaker myself, when you make your final cut on something, that's it. And to say that, the original Justice League movie isn't Zack Snyder's vision, It is, but it's also Joss Whedon's vision as well. It's definitely a collaborative effort. But when I heard this today and seeing all the fans cheer like we're about to get like a completely different movie, I don't think that's what we're gonna get. I think we're probably gonna get more of a director's commentary of what was supposed to happen. Because if anybody's ever done a re-release of a movie, most of those require reshoots. I guarantee you Ben Affleck's not coming back to reshoot anything. Henry Cavill might, But any of those other characters, maybe Ezra Miller, but any of those other people are not coming back to reshoot anything. And if they are, from what I'm reading, is that there's a lot of things that visually need to be done for the effects. Okay, I get that. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't really care to see a Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League movie. I said the same thing about the Batman vs. Superman extended cut. Although I like the extended cut, it's not that drastically different from the original theatrical cut. Other than we see Clark Kent in Gotham. That's it. And then we see a maybe a more extended version of why Bruce Wayne is doing what he's doing. But the extended cut didn't provide any more value than the original theatrical cut. And this is what it is. It's not really a Zack Snyder cut. It's an extended cut. I've gone too long on this. I plan on not staying too long on this topic. Jeremy, what do you think about this news of a Zack Snyder cut?
So, I'm going to go a little bit different of a direction with this, right? Honestly, I feel like we should all three have an hour podcast conversation about this topic because...
Oh, God, no.
Not now, necessarily, but no, you owe it to me, so we're going to make this happen. No, I don't know if I'll feel like talking about it tomorrow, but okay, so first of all, I'm not really a big Zack Snyder fan. Haven't really liked any of his movies that much, you know? Like, I can appreciate what he's doing. He really does have a interesting visual aesthetic. He wants everything to be super cool looking. I like the designs of his superheroes that he used in Batman vs. Superman and Justice League. Mm-hmm. What's fascinating about this is, like what you said in the beginning, that it is completely something that was willed into existence by this group of just rabid fans who were hashtagging release the Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut. And the thing that I love about this story is you have people in both camps. You have the people that's like, there is no Snyder Cut. This is completely insane. Exactly. Like, they didn't get far enough into it. And then on the other side, Jason Momoa, other people, oh no, we've seen part of the Snyder Cut. This thing is amazing. It would have been so much better than what we got. Again, I didn't care for Justice League. Mm-hmm. And I do agree with what you're saying, Alex, in regards to Batman v Superman specifically, right? Mm-hmm. It was a longer version of a movie that wasn't all that good in the first place.
Exactly.
I did see that they're investing like $20 million into completing this project, but as of right now, it's not known whether it's going to be a 6-part docu-series on HBO. They announced it for HBO. They don't know if it's going to be like a 4-hour version of the movie. But I will say, and again, just kind of the other side of the things, as people who do have to edit our videos, timing and pacing and choices that editors make change the game 100%. A good, scary movie is only good because of the work that the editors do. You hold a beat too long, and it messes up the rhythm of the entire thing. You cut away too fast, and it changes the way that we are emotionally affected by it. So a good editor is one of the most unsung heroes in the entire industry, in my mind. You know, you got your sound designers and you got your editors. And if you have Steven Spielberg or Stanley Kubrick, some of the best directors in the world, and then you let me edit their movies, it's not going to be, you know what I mean? It's not going to be the same, right?
Right.
So I do say that so we go to the production of what Batman versus Superman was, Justice League was. And unfortunately, despite the fact that I have dogged on Zack Snyder, he's an easy target, the man went through some very trying times. The reason why he got taken away from Justice League is due to a death in the family. Right. And then how do they thank him for trying to build up this universe, for doing the first 2 big movies, you know, the Man of Steel and the Batman vs. Superman? They replaced him with the Marvel guy. You know what I mean? They're like, we need this movie to be more like a Marvel movie. So they took all of this footage that Zack Snyder did, and then they went and did a bunch of like tight angled shots on character, reaction shots where they say some quippy stuff, and they changed the color palette to where it was more saturated and more bright and colorful. But essentially, what we got was a lot of Snyder's vision. Now, it's possible that they have so much footage that they shot during that initial take that the editor could go in and literally give us a dramatically different movie.
That's true.
I don't know what we're going to get out of it, but I am extremely curious now that we actually are like, hey, Zack Snyder came out and said this, HBO needs some content, it's going down. I got to know what it looks like. So that's my take on it.
I mean, that's very true. I never really looked at it, and mind you, if you guys are watching this video, this is our very first reactions to it.
Oh, yeah.
We have not planned about what we were going to say, and I'm telling you right now, like, although Jeremy said that, I am interested. However, I will sympathize with the fact that, you know, Zack Snyder was going through something that, as a parent, I don't know if I could potentially go through. And I understand why he had to leave ultimately. So I don't want to seem like I'm shitting on him as a director, as a creator, given the circumstances. However, I still think that this whole cut is stupid. But Ian, what do you think about this news of a new Zack Snyder cut coming to HBO Max?
Yeah, you know, as an artist, I understand to an extent some of these decisions and some of these opinions. So I'll start by saying, like, listen, if somebody has a visual of something and they want to put it out, and then somebody in the mid-production just says, hey, we're going to go with this, you know, it is heartbreaking. You know, you do have this idea that never breathed life into existence. So I get that, you know. I'll mirror a little bit what you guys are saying. I've never been a huge Zack Snyder fan. Like, I think he is a visual genius. Like, some of the visual stuff in movies, like, I would love to see in Marvel movies. Like, that's how good they are. Watchmen's great. Even the Justice League at sometimes, and the parts that were his, and then the Batman vs. Superman movies, they all have visually stunning, like, visuals. Not the best scriptwriter, not the best person to end a story. He's never been that guy, and that's why, like, every time someone's like, release a Snyder Cut, I'm like, do you really want him to do that? Do you really want him to do that? I don't know. I don't know. I'm all for, I'm all for this, I guess, and I'll explain why I say I guess. I just said I would love, I don't want to ever hold back an artist, especially from their vision. So, and it's sad that he had to go through that situation, unfortunately, and I'm glad that Warner Brothers is giving it a chance. Seems like they folded to possible bullying and just annoyance from everybody else.
Yeah,
but that's a different subject. I personally, if I was ahead of something and everyone just bullied me all the time, I'm like, F it, you'll never get your movie. I don't even care if Steven Spielberg directed it. You ain't gonna talk to me like that, bitches. That's how I would be. But I'm just a stubborn person.
Yeah,
I'm different. But at the same time, I'm gonna watch it. I'm a superhero fan. I love these characters. I'm going to watch it. I'm not hype about it like everybody else. It's not a victory for me because this happened in 2017. I'm just over it. I'm like, okay, I don't know how much his vision is going to change a movie that I thought was C, possibly D. I had high expectations. This is the Justice League. I've had high expectations. That was their Avengers movie. Avengers movie. I've never been an Avengers fan when I was a little kid, and just the movie magic and great character development and writing made me a fan of them. And it just the opposite happened with the Justice League. So my excitement for it is gone. I want to see something new. I want to see more original stuff. I'm not ready to go back to something that broke my heart. It's ridiculous.
I think that's 100% valid, dude. I agree with you, and I think don't misquote what I'm saying is that, like, I'm not excited for it as a Justice League fan.
Yeah.
I'm just really curious as an artist to say, like, what is this going to actually be? Because I do agree with you, Ian. It's like I'm not necessarily concerned about going back either. I think you bring a really good point up about that. But just if I came off like, I can't wait to see what they did with the Justice League, it's like I just can't wait to see how they repackage this thing and then redistribute it,
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be interesting because this is historic. As much as, I'm dogging on it, nothing never happened like this in history that somebody's gone back to a movie from how many years ago? 4 years ago?
Yeah.
That's never happened. So it is interesting for, as a fan of film, I am interested, like, what the heck? Are you going to go back to other garbage movies? Are we going to try Jurassic Park 3 again? What are we going to do here? So, I don't want to keep doing this with films. I'm more of a let's let's evolve into something different. But we'll see how this works.
I mean, Ian and Jeremy bring up a really good point, especially when Ian just said, like, how many movies are we going to continue to do this for? Like, so are we going to get the extended cut of Suicide Squad? Like, are we gonna get the director's cut of Birds of Prey? Like, are we gonna get the director's cut of Shazam? I want to point out something that Ian said.
Let's do Rise of Skywalker all over again.
Fantastic Four, yeah. How many times
Exactly.
Directors like this don't line up with my vision, you know. So like, do everybody get to go and get a second stab at it? Yeah, that's a good point.
Because the audience doesn't like it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
So, okay.
Exactly. And and what I was gonna bring up is that because I want to say about a few months ago, right around Sonic was about to come out, I had someone hit me up and say, hey, you know, a lot of fans tend to crap on Paramount because they made Sonic look stupid, but now they corrected the decision. What is the difference between us crapping on Warner Brothers for not allowing Zack Snyder to tell his movie? Here is the difference, you guys. Zack Snyder was on set before that tragic event. He was on set every day in cahoots with Warner Brothers and the set and everybody, letting them know his vision of what he wanted to do for that movie. It wasn't until tragic events that happened, which we are all sympathetic about, where he was removed. So yes, there are probably, I want to say, if he did shoot things that we didn't see, there's maybe an hour and a half of footage that maybe it's still visible for us to see. Maybe. With Sonic, they literally, when they first came out with the first trailer with Sonic did not look like Sonic. He looked like a really bad CGI job. So I could understand the fan outcry. And let's be clear, guys. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not really a Zack Snyder fan that much. I love Man of Steel. I actually love The Watchmen and the extended cut of Watchmen. But the thing as my panelist said, as a storyteller, he ain't really all there. He's not, even with 300, although the battle scenes are cool, I don't really know what the whole point of 300 was about. Yeah. That's just being honest. Like, all I see is a group of white men fighting each other with spears. I'm sorry. Like, and it had no substance. So
you forgot about the part where they were fighting brown people. It wasn't just white dudes. There were a whole army of brown people that they were murdering.
I mean, them too. Like, I mean, but the point I'm making is that solely is that as a fan of filmmaking, I don't really see the point in this. So when people ask that type of question of, well, what's the difference between fan outcrying for Sonic and people fan outcrying for this? I'm like, the difference is that Sonic needed to be changed. This
design versus a movie that Sonic, they didn't change anything with the movie except the design.
Exactly.
Go back and redo the whole movie.
Exactly. When the whole point of Sonic, and I said this when Sonic was coming out, I said, nobody came back to do reshoots. Nobody came back to do anything. They may have to do maybe a few reshoots for the stuff they had already scheduled, but they didn't have to plan anything extra other than redesigning that character. With this movie, anytime a studio says we're going to spend $20 or $30 million to redo this movie, that is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Especially if you're going to spend that much money on redoing a movie that is, and I'll say without trying to crap on it, that's divisive amongst fans. We all know the critics hate it, but it's divisive that are amongst fans. I don't think that's wise. Why don't you put that $20-30 million on a movie that's actually going to be good? That's the frustration that I have. I like put a $20 to $30 million on a black superhero character. Because mind you, they don't have a black superhero movie in the DCEU yet. We have Cyborg, but I seriously doubt he'll get his own movie. So
what if I told you that
they were using the $25 million to CGI back on Henry Cavill's mustache?
I mean, you bring up a point. Like Alex was just going rambling about like the money they could have used for an actual better, more original concept, but they wasted a lot of money on a damn Sorry. That's why I don't talk about this, because it pisses me off.
You're fine, and trust me, we got time. But like that's the point that we're making as creatives, guys. Like, they spent all that money for a fucking mustache, and then you had Ryan Reynolds in a separate universe saying, "Yo, why the fuck did you not finish Cable's arm? It's not like you have to CGI a mustache. Fuck it, I'll do it myself." Like, when you have a actor playing in a separate universe that has nothing to do with the DCEU shitting on a movie that was supposed to be bigger than the Justice League, I mean bigger than the Avengers, that should tell you something. So when I hear these, I want to be very careful about what I say, because I don't want to be trolled by any fans of the Snyder Cut. And when you have these fans, crying about the fucking Snyder Cut, I'm like, yo, you realize that we're not going to get a different movie. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but I'm going to get off my soapbox. Those are our thoughts, you guys. What do you think about the Snyder Cut coming out on HBO Max? Does this make you want to get the service now that it's coming out officially on a streaming service? Jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, Jeremy, thank you for being on the show. Jeremy, where can we find you on social media?
This was fun, man. I really enjoyed kind of digging into this topic. And I appreciate all of you that stopped by to check it out. You can check me out at Movies Are Terrible on YouTube. I actually just now uploaded a new video called Is Freddy vs. Jason Terrible? So you guys head over, let me know what you think about that. We've got more episodes of Movies Are Terrible on the way, and just now uploaded the part 3, the phase 3 episode of the Marvel Terrible movie trivia, and it's got Alex and Ian on it, so make sure you guys head over and check out the conclusions of that. Jeremy B. Terrible on Twitter. Peace.
Awesome. Now, Ian, where can we find you on social media?
/the_controversy. And please, this is a great conversation. I appreciate you coming on. But if you're very pro Snyder Cut, if you're very pro anti Snyder Cut, listen. I have no dog in the fight. I don't care. I'm moving on to better things. But if you're a fan of movies and other content like pop culture, please holler at me on YouTube. The controversy over there in the comment. I mean, not the comment section, but the details. I'd love to talk more movies with you. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I love having these guys on. We have great conversations. And if you want to keep seeing this stuff like this, just come by our channel. We'll definitely love to have these types of discussions with you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, where you get all updates of every time I'm releasing a video. Here on Momentum Media, new apparel's coming out. More stuff is coming out. Check out my series, The Reality of YouTube and Podcasting. A new episode will drop tomorrow for that. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as always, you have a blessed day.